Welcome to this new series of podcasts that we are launching, that we have actually launched for you, which is known as Learn Something New. And here's the deal, we are going to bring up certain topics that are very interesting and you would of course want to know more about it. And अगर आपको पहले से ही पता है
तब भी सुनो
तो सुनना चॉइस तो हमने छोड़ी नहीं है. And let me introduce to you the co-host that we have with us. See, I'm not alone in this journey. I have a hand to hold on, and that's Akansha Sahu, ladies and gentlemen, community manager who's working with Dalham. And I'm so
literally holding Visha's hand right now.
Yeah, but I don't know why I don't see her very happy these days. She was crying in the corner the other day. I asked her the reason. She said something related to podcast. I did not listen to it much, but then it's okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah.
On a secret. I was forced to do this.
Sorry,
I was not forced to do this at all. ये मेरा खुद की मर्जी से हो रहा है सब कुछ.
Yeah.
I was not forced.
Yeah.
No one forced me.
Yeah, right time to delete the WhatsApp messages that I just sent you. Delete it.
I really hope I'm not just a guest here.
No, you are not a guest. You'll be here tortured till the end of the time and let's see what happens.
Oh God.
I just hope you're sane. See, because you'll get a lot of information, no?
Oh yeah, I learned.
You might not be able to take it because I know you personally. You might not be able to take such information.
इतना capacity नहीं है.
Yeah. But moving ahead, we have a great topic for you guys, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be interested in listening to this podcast because the topic of this podcast, as you have already read in the thumbnail, which is why you're here, but still we would like to mention it, and it's all about radio. How do you become a radio jockey if you want to?
And that's coming from a former RJ.
Former jockey, radio jockey, yes. So I've been working with radio since last 5 years. I mean, now I've quit, of course. But
now she's working with us.
Yeah. But how was my experience as an RJ, and how can you become an RJ if you want to? You're going to get every bit of every piece of information related to that. So let's begin. I would like to know it from you. See, I have been always biased for radio, because that was the first job that I took, and I have always been associated with radio. But as an outsider, how do you see radio as?
Very general. इतना ad क्यों आता है? सबसे पहले इतने ads क्यों होते हैं उस पे? गाने कम, ad ज़्यादा क्यों?
Right. So basically, what happens is we don't work for free. We get our salaries, and our salaries come from the ads. So basically, a lot of people do not know, but there are sales guys who literally go and sell the ads to the customers, to whosoever is our potential customer. We give them ads, and we get money in return. You see. So that is how we get profit and salaries and things like bonus and all. We get these things. So yeah, one of the major reasons why you would listen to a lot of ads, especially during festivals, because a lot of people come up with offers and all. And of course, what better place than radio? So yeah, ads तो रहेंगे, उसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
इतनी सारी लेकिन.
Yeah.
इतने सारे पैसे मिलते हैं आप लोगों को.
Yeah. Swiftly moving away from there. Okay, so ads I understood. What else do you think of radio as? So maybe what are your memories? Let's talk about that. What are your memories of radio? You must have heard radio a lot at certain point of time in life, right? So what was that phase? How did you see radio in that particular, era? Should I say so?
Oh wow, thanks. Not feeling old at all. So as a kid, it was always about jingles. So I will always associate radio with jingles. First. अलग-अलग तरह के jingles हैं, very cute and very nice also.
And they get stuck in your head. They get stuck in your head. That's the biggest problem, because then you would keep singing the same thing the entire day.
Exactly.
In fact, when you get this Antakshari kind of a thing, then you start singing. Oh, yeah. And the best part is when you start singing, everybody else joins you.
So I remember this ऐसे in some movie जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा में उसमें there's a jingle
Yes,
that
of
they
course,
sing.
of course. Yeah, I know that.
Should I
know
sing
that.
it?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Diamond biscuit, biscuit.
So
जब
these
भी
things
मन हो
really
खा लो.
damage your brain at certain point.
Yeah. So I heard this way back and it's still with me. It's still stuck with me. तो रेडियो का तो मतलब can't even imagine. ये तो just an example I gave here.
So did this ever happen to you when you would wait for your favorite song on radio to play?
Oh yeah.
And then you would pray for it so much so that it literally shows up. The song literally shows up and it's playing on the radio and you feel like, oh my god, what is happening?
Unfortunately, this has never happened. So I just keep flipping कि आ जाएगा, but never. Every time it's just the ads.
Wow.
No. And I listen to radio a lot.
Okay. So you never wish for a particular song to play, and
I just wish for good songs to come. अभी तो नहीं आते हैं. That's all I can say.
Wow. Thanks, ma'am.
I think it's since you've left this job, no? तब से नहीं आ रहा है. तब से मजा नहीं आ रहा है.
See, I had a word with them.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't be that sad about it. You can literally continue playing.
Start playing some good music.
Yeah.
बस एक ही तरह के गाने मत बजाओ.
Plus, see, we are just the radio is just a source of, literally pushing the song out in the market. But there are makers who are making that song also.
But I always feel like it's always the same kinds of song.
Yeah, that's true. That I would
agree.
There
are so many nice songs and I think radio is the best platform for that क्योंकि इतने सारे songs को उनका जो ऐसे recognition नहीं मिलता है.
They receive their due credit. That's true.
इतनी बारी नहीं भी मिलता है.
Yeah, that's there. But talking about radio, so are you excited about this thing where I'm going to take you? I'm going to walk you through my radio journey and
very excited.
Tell these listeners also, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of listeners who are there tuning into this podcast right now, they must be planning to get into radio. I mean, कभी ना कभी तो दिमाग में कि RJ बनना है.
और किसी के नहीं भी आया तो अब आ जाना चाहिए.
हाँ, अब आ जाना चाहिए, because a lot of people aspire to become radio jockey. And I have literally typed long messages to, I don't know, n number of people who would ask me, कैसे बनना है, क्या करना है, how do I go about this thing? I really want to get into radio and all. So yeah, so the thing is, I'll start from the very beginning. I was preparing. See, I never wanted the fancy life that radio has.
It has a fancy life.
Yeah,
that's something I don't.
See, it's fancy when you go out and people recognize you not just by your voice, but of course thanks to Instagram, by your face also, and then they come to you and they ask for your selfie. And when you have your family member, that's the best, because then initially no parent approves of radio and all, because कब तक बोल के पैसे कमाओगे वाला चीज है ना.
I think this has happened with me also. So back in school, I told my father that no, this is something I'm interested in and I wanted to do it. We had some workshop school में and I came across this and I told my father, he's like, what is this? ये तो नहीं करते हैं, इसमें ये क्या होता है? तो कोई job नहीं होता है. And what I must be in class 9 or something like that, and then at that time this happened and I was like कि क्या हो रहा है? ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है?
Yes, that happens because of course, get a real job is always a question.
And now you're telling me these people have a fancy life.
Yeah, they do. Actually, they do have a fancy life. Plus, it's not just the fancy life that you get a lot of responsibility along with that. Radio is it's a very bright side of the society, because I'll tell you, you get to listen to a lot of news. See, it's first of all, radio is an infotainment segment. So you get entertainment plus information mixed together. So it's that's what makes radio different from news channels, because they're गौर से देखिए, that kind of thing नहीं होता वो. So there you get to listen to the same news but in a very tackled form. So you would
precise also.
Precise also. Plus there will always be a punch.
Yeah, that's true.
There will always be a take. Ki, okay, I liked it or I did not like it.
And then one more thing, when you hear this, so you take it with you.
Yes.
That pun line or the whole news,
and then you use the same pun line in front of your friends to try to act smart.
This never happens on ऐसे television के साथ.
हाँ, obviously, because नागिन बनते हुए किसी को देख के अच्छा नहीं लगेगा आपको. So the thing is, when I joined radio, the thing is, I was planning a very normal life, as I said. Then radio happened, and how did that happen? I was casually, of course, listening to radio, and I got to listen to this promo that they were running about RJ Hunt. So I thought, why not apply? Let's go and apply. जो होगा देखा जाएगा. फिर जो होता है वो देखा नहीं जाता. That's a different thing. So I just applied, cleared all the rounds eventually, and
how many rounds did you?
3. So basically, first was the interaction round. Second was I don't even remember, maybe some writing and all. They write and they take your voiceovers and all. And then the third round was the final round where you had to make up things spontaneously. They would give you a situation, how would you react, what would you tell, why do you want to become an RJ and all these kind of questions. So I got through, I won the competition, and I got this thing, paid internship kind of a thing, and then later they were supposed to hire me as an RJ. This is about Radio Mirchi. I'm talking about Radio Mirchi. And then I joined Red before I joined Mirchi, because I got an opportunity from that place. And then a full-fledged career in radio started. You get through everything. You get through the training process where you get to learn these consoles. That's the fancy thing. Faders that faders.
Very fancy.
Yeah,
I've seen it in movies. Very fancy.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks to Munna Bhai also.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
good morning, Mumbai.
That doesn't happen. That I'll I would like to break the ice here by telling you that that doesn't happen.
Sad.
You are most of the time literally receiving the calls and telling the callers, no, we can't play this song. We can't play this song. Please stop requesting for this song. Because they would literally request songs from Love Story 1952 and we can't play this. That's not enough. And by the way, radio can, there are a set of songs that you can play. You do not have license to certain songs. So if you think that radio can play any song they want, it doesn't happen that way. You literally have to pay certain money to the company for playing their song on it. So there are a lot of mathematical things going on, a lot of situation occurring there. So yeah, when I joined Red FM and I was working with them, I literally got to know a lot of things where the life was, it was fancy of course, but along with it came a lot of responsibility, because every word that you speak is going on air in the entire city, and the moment you go wrong, you're just literally you're making fun of a lot of things altogether, meaning a lot of emotions are attached. Sometimes people are very emotional regarding things, so you can't literally go and speak anything and everything, which is why you need a planning kind of a thing. I did certain blunders in the initial phase of my career, where I literally got calls saying, what is this you are telling people what? So which is why a lot of responsibility comes along. So you really need to research things thoroughly before you speak anything. And then every time you sit and think, what new can I do today, is really very challenging after a certain point in time. So you have to literally think of different things to speak every day. Uspe bhi you have to think of a take that you have on that particular news or maybe incident that had happened. So and it shouldn't be boring, because nobody is tuning into radio to listen to plain stuff. They want to know what you think about it. Can you tell me a joke about it? Maybe.
Every minute of that has to be creative.
Yeah. So that's there. And it's very, very, at times it's very challenging also. But most of the time it's very, your brainstorming is happening every second you are on it. So, and plus the best part is callers. When they call you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Please. Do people really call?
Of course they call you.
वो callers असली हैं.
Yes, of course they call you.
क्यों नहीं लगते हैं?
Because
से आते
see,
हैं
people, अभी क्या लोग भी शाड़े हो गए.
हाँ.
I'll give you an example. There was a time when crowd work in comedy scene was very rare. People would literally not talk back, instead laugh on the jokes that people are making on them, the stand-up comedian is making on them. Now the crowd has become very smart. They would reply back with certain...
But that's what makes it fun, no?
Yeah, which is why callers are now also... See, there is no more, ye gaane ki request ki hai, Asha, Sarita. It's no more that thing. It's more like people will call you, they will talk with you. It's almost like a conversation with a friend that you are having when you get callers. Right now, that's the scene of callers. They would give you plus sometimes callers give you a lot of content also, which is why you again have to be very active. Your critical thinking should be really very good when you are thinking and when you're sitting on the chair, because you can get content at any given time. So which is why you really need to sit there, no matter how long your show is. You need to be in the office with all your mind, brains, everything should be open. You should be open to everything. Everything is content. I mean, when you work in radio, you cannot see anything straight. There will always be some or the other thing that would pop out in your mind, or maybe you will get certain lines in your head regarding that thing. That's what they teach us. So basically, if you want to get into radio, there's a very good activity that you can do. It's a very nice small little activity. Whatever you see at first, like for example, there's a specs kept in front of us, and when you see this, whatever comes in your mind, you just start speaking about it. That's a very small activity, so that you are used to of this thing, so that when you get a news to speak about, you already have things in your mind. Your brain can function that way.
So you always have something to speak about.
You have things, you have opinions about everything. You have things to write creatively about things, creative writing aspect.
Or you can speak, when you see things, you can just speak about them.
Definitely.
On your, you have to be very quick in that.
Yeah. Your brain should be processing thing. It literally improves your creative writing thing. So when you see an object and you start writing about it, for example, you have to write an ad about it. So
have you written ads?
Of course. I mean, when I was interning, that's what I did. I wrote 50% of the work was done by the copywriter and 50% I was doing it. So yeah, ads mein I used to go overboard and be overly creative, which
obviously that's you.
That was not entertained by clients. So the end goal has to be what client wants and not how creative you are. So that is a setback to it. But yeah, if anybody who's listening to us wants to get into radio, needs to keep in mind that you should be having this practice of speaking. Very important. And as I said, there's a very good activity. Just speak about things which are kept right in front of you. Do not take up big news to talk about it. Just start with basic things. And similarly, write about it. See, अगर आपको ये specs का ad लिखना होगा, तो क्या लिखोगे? How creatively are you going to write it? So if your brain starts functioning that way, it makes you very, very, very quick at grasping things inside the radio industry. But the thing is, how to get in a radio industry. That's the biggest question.
रेडियो पे तो अनाउंस करते हैं वो कि जॉब है आ जाओ.
हाँ, नहीं करते. You'll never see a vacancy of radio jockey. You'll hardly see it. I mean, there is never, because obviously people want to hire who are already associated with the industry, right?
Because then
even if they're fresher, even if they never had a legit job in radio, which is why internships play an important role. If you are interning with radio, that is where that's the starting point. You need to get into radio. You cannot directly start, most of the cases you do not directly start as an RJ. You have to come from a background where you have worked for radio previously. As an intern चलेगा, but होना चाहिए, कुछ पता तो होना चाहिए
background.
Yeah. So you need to literally get into radio. थोड़ा सा you have to go to the offices and submit your CVs and tell them that you need to intern here. You might not get paid for it. You might not get, yes. So that's the biggest. So if you want to get into radio, that's what you pay for it. You initially build your to build a building, you need to keep something, जिसको बोलते क्या बोलते हैं उसे, नींव. Yeah, that has to be done. और उसके लिए थोड़े से sacrifices करने पड़ेंगे. So that happens, and then when you are done with your internship, when you are doing internship, second best thing that happens to you, first is to you get into radio, second is you get to know people and your contact list upgrades. So you know a lot of people inside the town, in the radio industry, and always have a good connection with them, have a good, be very amicable with them, because they are going to help you climb up the ladder, because they will get to know if there is a vacancy in another station or another city, and they will definitely refer you. So reference also plays a really very important part. So these things happen, and then you finally get into radio. And what is the life inside radio? Of course, you get a lot of fame, you get a lot of fans, you get a lot of exposure, but then the price that you pay for it is the dedication that you really need to have. That is one thing you cannot bounce or skip. So there might be times when you have to work on Sundays also, because activity, yeah. So activities happen, a lot of on ground activities happen when people are interacting with the crowd or whatever. And Saturdays to of course is out of question, because Saturdays ko bhi show jate hain. So you have to be there in the office just for the hours of your show. You do not need to spend the entire day. Which brings me to another thing. People think जाते होंगे बोल के आ जाते होंगे. No, that doesn't happen. You have to give certain hours to the company. And you really need to get in the office, not just because you need to give hours to company, but because you need to plan your show. You cannot just go and blabber things out there on, mic. So you really need to plan things. And then the best part of being on air is at times you get to do the shows that you have always wanted to.
Like?
I love night shows, okay? Night shows. Yeah, 10 to 1. Those are, I have already also hosted them, because then we do a lot of proxy shows. So when somebody is not coming, किसी को तो show करना है, so some or the other RJ does it. So I did the night shows, and that was the best part, because night show में जो जनता call करती है, they are something else only. They are out of the world, because they would, first of all, they're very frank, very open about things, and secondly, they speak a lot. I don't know how, but they speak a lot. So I really loved that thing, that you get to explore a lot of people in a single day. I mean, person who's calling you in the morning will not be the same as the person who called you at night. So you can get to know about different kind of people, Otherwise, you are just limited to your friends. Okay, such people exist in the world, but there is a life beyond that. So yes, Akansha Sao, that's what I like the most about radio, And I hope now you know everything about radio.
Oh yes, totally. I know everything about radio. I know internship करना पड़ता है अंदर job लेने से पहले, नहीं तो job entry नहीं है radio में बिना internship के कुछ नहीं मिलेगा.
See, it's not like that. Certain people get through without doing internship.
But do you know?
No, I know none. I know none of them who have done so. So yeah, I hope you've got all the information that you need. At least 5% of the information that you need to get into radio.
0.95.
That's okay. That's also fine.
इतना भी चलेगा.
Yeah. That's also fine. But yes, you guys, we just hope that you had a wonderful time listening to us. I can't promise that, but still, we just hope that you had. And we'll be bringing up certain topics which are really very interesting, and I'm pretty sure you would love to hear it from us.
And with us.
Till then, we would like to take your leave now, because we have an actual work that's pending now and we get paid for it.
Yeah.
And sadly, we are sitting here for a very long time now.
बहुत डांट पड़ने वाली है.
Yeah. So we better get going, and we'll meet you guys very soon with another interesting topic. Till then, bye-bye. Like, share, subscribe, comment, bell icon, whatever.
Hear us soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Tata. Take care, guys.